Hi, my name is Dalton Struck, and this is Sustainably Growing Your Operation, a presentation by Western Ag Credit. So the first question when you're looking at growing your operation is, why do you want to grow your operation? What it comes down to is you're probably trying to increase your profits. Whether it's children that are coming back to the operation and you need to make it large enough for that to be sustainable for them, whether you're looking to reduce your debt, diversify your operation, increase your power in the market, or spread expenses over your fixed costs. But before you start growing, you have to think there's some pitfalls of growth. You need to make sure you have a well-out plan. If you don't have a plan in writing, your plan basically doesn't exist. If you're not measuring your financial outcome of your growth, what are you truly going towards? Once again, it goes back to that plan. You need to know what you're doing. Will you have enough working capital? Will you have enough owner equity to sustain any shortfalls that may happen? Do you have the management production capacity to continue your growth? Will you have the cash, the time, the resources to grow? Has your business plan been proven in its current size? Is your operation currently profitable, and will the growth actually make it more profitable? If not, it's probably not an appropriate time to grow. And finally, acting out of emotion and not following your written plan. If you're just making purchases and growing for growth's sake, oftentimes that growth will be non-productive to you and your operation. So before you start, there's 4 questions that you should ask. And all of them are just assessing where are you at currently. Are you at your maximum capacity? Are you tapped out in cash flow? Are you tapped out in time? Are you tapped out in resources? Where is that at? Are your expenses as low as you can get them now? Have you maximized the operation's profitability as it currently is? And what are your current financial ratios? Are they where they need to be? Are you meeting underwriting standards? Are you the best among your peers? And is there additional capacity to take on more? Will you have more time? Will you have more resources? Will you be able to do stuff like that in the future? So where to start? We've identified that there's 3 main paths to growth. You can increase your production, you can vertically integrate, or you can diversify your revenue streams. Increasing your production is what it sounds like. Buying more acreage, increasing your herd. Vertically integrating, that's going either upline or downline. So adding value at the beginning of your process or at the end of your process to extract more revenue or profit from your operation. And finally, diversifying your revenue stream. Is there other ways you can diversify your revenue stream to make your operation stronger, to help counter the cyclical nature of agriculture? And when you're doing that, we really suggest you seek professional advice. We here at Western Ag Credit are always happy to help. There's wonderful people at the USU Extension Office, and the SBA is also a great resource if you're looking to grow your operation. To be a farmer is to be a student forever. For each day brings something new. There's not a single day on a farm operation that you're not going to learn something new. You're a lifelong learner as a farmer, and you need to take those lessons and use them in improving your operation. The growth you're having needs to be logical. Will it show a reasonable rate of return over the long term? Will there be efficiencies gained in the offset of the cost? Will it improve your break even? Does it improve your operation? Does it improve the amount of time you need to take doing tasks? Have there been enough reserves to get you through difficult times? And will there be difficult times ahead soon, do you believe? Or will you have a little bit of time to rebuild your reserves? And then part of that long-term strategic business plan is forward planning. Do you have a 5-year plan? Do you have a 10-year plan? Do you know where you want your operation to be when you want to pass it on to the next generation? All of this is dictated by the commodity cycle. You're going to have troughs and peaks. Everybody is looking to grow at the peak of the cycle. This is the time when everybody's jumping in. You need to move because prices get even higher. Everybody expects high commodity prices to continue. There's lots of buying and selling activity, opportunities people can't pass up. And from a Western Ag Credit perspective, this is when we see a lot of additional loan requests for people looking to expand their operations. The question you need to always ask yourself is this the time to expand your operation? Are you going to have enough to, when that downturn comes, when that trough hits, continue and make it through to the next peak and bank more profits? Oftentimes, if you are no better than the industry long-term break-even, your gains will be offset by losses over time, and it'll limit your financial progress, any growth or any goals you want to accomplish. You want your break even to be below the long-term average in the commodity cycle and better than your peers. Working in commodities requires you to be benchmarked against your peers. You and your peers are the ones who dictate prices and the cost of production. Is your cost of production lower than your competitors? And where do you want to be? You want to have your cost of break even as low as possible, allowing you to have a long-term sustainable operation that will allow you to grow as you need. So a scenario, Rancher A is a 100 cow-calf operation. They feed hay 3 months of the year, all of which is purchased at an average of $185 per ton. Using 2.5 AUMs per ton, Rancher A purchases on average 120 tons per year, totaling $22,200 in hay expenses. They want to expand their operations to minimize their hay expenses. How can they do this? They have 3 typical options. You can buy real estate, you can buy grazing permits, or you can rent some private ground. The question that often needs to be asked is, how much of a loan can be supported by $22,200 of loan service without negatively affecting the cash flow of your operation? So if we look at this using Excel or a financial calculator, to purchase real estate, you'd put in a payment of minus $22,200 at an interest rate of 5% with payments over 30 years amortized. And it tells you that for the payment of $22,200 a year, you can afford a loan of $340,000. Some questions you also need to ask with that is, do you have the working capital or the equity required for a 30% down payment of about $140,000? And is it actually possible to purchase land for $480,000 that'll produce 300 AUMs? If you're looking to purchase grazing rights, you once again do the payment of negative $22,200 at an interest rate of 5% with payments over 7 years. You can now afford a loan of $128,000. Once again, you need to ask yourself, do you have the working capital or equity for 30% down or $55,500? And is it possible to purchase grazing rights for $610 per AUM? To lease ground for $22,200 per year divided by 300 animal units is the equivalent cost of $74 per animal unit. Can you lease 300 animal units for $74? According to the Idaho State website, an average AUM is about $35. This would save an operation of about $10,000 per year in expenses. With this scenario, there are other things you need to think about. Are you looking to gain equity in your operation? Do you have enough working capital? Do you need to expand for the long term? And how long of a lease could you get? Is it a one-time thing, or is it something you need to look over the long term? Another scenario, Farmer B has 50 acres of irrigated ground that is free and clear of liens and wants to purchase a neighboring farm which has 150 acres of irrigated ground. Both farms produce alfalfa hay with an average of yield of 5 tons. They propose 100% financing of the farm, and they will looking to use those 50 acres that are free and clear as equity. Additionally, the farmer will need to purchase $100,000 of equipment to operate the new farm. The ground appraises for $7,000 an acre, and the equipment is purchased for $100,000 through a local dealer. So if we assume the following, it's a $1,050,000 loan over a 30-year term at a fixed rate of 5%, leaving you with an annual payment of $68,300. For the $100,000 in equipment over a 5-year note at a screaming deal of 0% interest from the dealer and a $20,000 annual payment, plus you have to allocate about $500 per acre in operating expenses. What is the break-even price this farmer needs to sell their hay for to cover the operating expenses and debt payments of this operation? So if operating expenses and debt payments, the $500 times 200 acres, plus the $68,300 in real estate payments, plus the $20,000 in equipment payments, leaves us with a negative cash flow of $188,500. If you're able to produce 5 tons of hay per acre over 200 acres and you get 1,000 tons, your break-even hay price is that $188,500 divided by 1,000, which is $188.50 per ton. The average alfalfa price in Utah is $180 per ton. Should you execute on this plan? If you were to go about it in this way, you'd be losing $8.50 per ton of hay produced, but you'd also be gaining equity, and there's other offsets to that. Is this the right move for you? What are ways that the farmer could sell this product at a higher price? Could they niche marketing to horse operations? The equipment they bought produced 2-string 80-pound bales? Could they sell to feed stores? Provide a delivery service for value added to the hay price? If these ideas can push the net hay price up to $250 per ton, should they grow it now? Make sure that you analyze, research, and test the market prior to jumping in and making decisions. Make sure you build a business plan and you continue to follow that business plan. In that business plan, you should maintain ample working capital. Don't over-leverage yourself. Always keep some cards in play because another day, another opportunity will come down the road. You have options to fall back on, short of selling your assets or getting out of the business if you maintain your business plan and you can continue to be profitable. And finally, always ask yourself, with your projections, are they supported by long-term history? You may lose money in the troughs, and you may make money at the peaks, but in those average years, are you still making money? Western Ag Credit has a credit philosophy. We need to understand the risks associated with expansion. We view our role as being a partner with you in a sound business decision that has a high probability of success and adequate risk from both our side and your side. Western Ag Credit is committed to financing eligible operations provided the transaction is constructive. A constructive loan will provide an actual benefit to the customer's operation and lifestyle without creating undue risk. Constructive lending is something we take very seriously here at Western Ag Credit. We do not consider it constructive to finance to the extent that the first problem results in financial distress. We understand the cycles in agriculture and strive to provide financing that will withstand both the ups and the downs. When we understand where we are going, it's easy to enjoy a long-term, successful relationship. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Dalton Struck at Western Ag Credit, or Jonathan Howard at Western Ag Credit. Thank you.